This is CS for DWP. I think this is gonna be my last one for the night. Let me see who's on right now. Oh wow, it's just two of us. Okay, but yeah. So the Prime Vault is in the market. It's in there. Trinity and Nova dual pack. It's there. It comes with 1200 platinum. Comes with both of them. Comes with a Vasto Prime, Soma Prime, Dual Commerce Prime, which is weird because I thought the Commerce Prime came with Saren, but that was Nikana Prime. I keep forgetting. But yeah, so it's there. It's live. Grab it if you want. But I did Nova just a second ago, and in this one I'm going to be doing Trinity. So let's go on ahead and bust out Mama Trinity, which is another one of my favorite Warframes. I have like 5 Warframes that like 5 or 6 Warframes that I just cycle between out of all 40. What is it? 42 of them. And I'm gonna go into the simulacrum for this one, just to kind of explain like Trinity, because there used to be like old mechanics for Trinity that don't really work anymore, particularly because self-damage is removed. It technically can still work if you have a Ivara on your squad, but that's kind of like doing too much. But if you want to do it, you can. This is something that used to be used with Link, but that still, even still it doesn't work like it used to. So anyway, Trinity, what is she? Why would you use Trinity? Well, Trinity is the healer of the game. She is also one of the best tanks if you can get used to her rotation. She can also refill energy of your squad depending on the build that you use. I don't use Energy Vampire Trinity, as I probably should, but I don't. I use a Blessing Trinity. Throwing some terms around, what do those mean? Well, there's basically 4 different Trinities, and I hate to say it, but it is kind of 4 Trinities, right? And there's 1 per ability that you're using, right? So you have, no one does energy well of life. Everyone does blessing if you're going for healing, right? So we can just not talk about that. For details on Trinity, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You basically turn an enemy into like a node that throws out auras to heal the team and stuff like that. That's basically what that does, right? But let's talk about, I want to get more into like the strategic uses of it rather than like what the powers do. But you have the Energy Vampire Trinity, which is the one I don't use. But if you do use a EV, they call it EV Trinity. What this one is used for is not only giving the team a bunch of energy, but it's also used to provide overshields to the team, which is extremely nice because it'll actually provide overshields if any excess energy that comes from that enemy will go towards overshields, which is super nice because she can throw out a lot of energy to the team, believe it or not. The Link build is the old wipe. It's not old, but it's the wipe. You used to be able to, that was basically DPS Trinity. You would basically kill yourself or attempt to kill yourself with Link on, with like max range, and you would kill the entire map instead. Easy. Like so easy. You would out DPS everything in the game with that ability, and they nerfed it. They had to. They actually had to. It was worse than it was almost as bad as a boss mode. Right? Then you have Blessing Trinity. This is the one I use. Why do I use this build? I use this because I do Eidolon hunts and I do arbitrations with it. Like I use it for survivability reasons. So that's the Trinity. Oh wait, hold on. Let me pull up the chat. I apologize. Just want to make sure I'm staying in tune with you guys. All right, cool. So let's get into what she can do, and then I'll go over like a build or whatever. So we all know my favorite enemies to test my defense with, right? I'm going to just talk about her tankiness. So you have Inaros, you got Grendel, you got all these different Warframes that are defensive, but she is over the top defensive. And this is mainly because you can just not only just sit there and take the hit, which we all know. Oh, these are level 30. Because I'm like, they seem a lot weaker than they should be. Let's probably take that off. Okay. Let's make these guys 150. There we go. Okay. We're going to hit that, and we're going to take a beating. Okay. Boop. Now I went from 0 to hit my quick thinking, and ooh, she actually died. That was funny. All right, let me actually try then. Let's go ahead and actually put hand signals, please. Oh, this is my Eidolon build. Jesus Christ. Yeah, let me not use this one, because she's casting really slow. That's probably why she's dying so quick. Alright, let's do arbitrations, I guess. The only difference is efficiency and casting speed. That's a lot faster. There we go. Get this thing started. Come on, hit me, fool. Quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself. So as you can see, she's way more tanky, right? And she can do this for a long period of time. Not only that, she can actually restore her energy as well. So if you have quick thinking or anything, as long as this thing is going, you're, for the most part, you're usually good to go. This is not enough enemies to actually show it. Let's do something a little bit more extreme, I guess. Let's do a bunch of these guys. I'm gonna annoy you guys just for 2 seconds, but just to put it in perspective. Now, we all know that Ambulance murders. If you've ever fought 20 ambulances before, you know this is supposed to be impossible. Alright. Now, this is not prime sure-footed. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take prime sure-footed off just to make it even more obvious that it's not prime sure-footed. But one thing about Trinity that I forgot to mention is that when you have Link on, it makes her not immune, but resistant to like staggers and stuff like that. So technically, I don't need that on. So now I don't have any stagger resistance or anything. And out of all the Warframes, for whatever reason, she still gets knocked back by the Brahma, right? That still happens. But when you have Link on, right? I still get knocked down by the Brahma. Oh, I don't get knocked down by the Brahma, right? So that's one thing that's a takeaway for Trinity. And this is what happens without Prime Surefoot with Trinity. Keep in mind, this is as long as you have Link on. Now, I don't know if you guys ever been stomped out by one ambulance, but when you have 20 ambulances doing that, you should be on your back, right? So that's just kind of just the surface of Trinity, right? So she can survive really, really good. Her damage output isn't the greatest, but the way her damage output kind of works. Tutorial failed. Yeah, I know exactly right. But the way her damage output kind of works is that her DPS comes from redirecting damage. So if you have Link on, any damage done to you, 75% goes from you to the enemy. They hit you for 1,000. Then you only take 250 of it. 750 of it goes towards the next enemy. All the procs, all the everything goes to that enemy. That's really nice. As far as different builds for her, she's pretty straightforward. But I think more importantly, people are going to be more interested in her Eidolon build, if anything. Now, this build is specific to the Focus School Materai. And why is that? This is because there's Rage and Hunter's Adrenaline. Now, you don't have to have these two on. You can easily just use a bunch of energy pads, but I don't like using energy pads. I'd rather just get good, right? So I go more along the lines of exploiting her. Everybody's hopping off here. Oh yeah. No problem. Oh yeah. Anyway, it was a long day. But anyway, so with Eidolon builds for Trinity, what you're mainly going for is a ton of duration. Ton of duration, and you only need at least 50% power strength in order to get 100% restoration and 75% damage reduction. The damage reduction is actually really important when you're doing Eidolon hunts with a Trinity. The reason why is because when you pop your fourth, You want the shooter to be able to stay alive while shooting. Boop. Now you got the 75% at the top. You want that to be up for as long as possible on both the shooters or the shooter and the lures. Pretty much everybody, right? Particularly the lures, right? Because you're probably going to be the lure person. You're not going to be able to do any buff shots. You can probably do this with your Matter-Eye if you're doing Matter-Eye stacks. But outside of that, your job is to go get lures and heal the targets, right? Now, if you notice, this should be the Eidolon build. Yep. So if you notice, every time I hit my heal, boom, I lose 100 energy, right? Which is fine, but you're going to be getting like pretty much hit in the face the entire time you're out there. So that energy is going to be coming back a lot more than you would like, but you're going to be hitting this a lot more than you would like as well, which is why Rage and Hunter's Adrenaline is on. With both of those, what happens is 95% of the damage that you take gets converted into energy. Now you could try to run something like adaptation, but adaptation, for whatever reason, I don't know if it changed recently. If it did, awesome. But to my understanding, adaptation does not work in Eidolon hunts. It has never worked for me, which is why it's not on here. Otherwise, I would just run adaptation instead of Hunter's Adrenaline, and that way I can survive longer, and I only have to, because this lasts about 20-something seconds, right? 22 seconds, right? So physique is there to help with a little bit, with the health. The more effective health, the better, right? Quick thinking is to help with effective health. Quick thinking probably isn't the best route to go, but it's just the way that I play. You know what I mean? I'd rather have a really high pool. You know what I mean? And if I happen to get my energy knocked down to 0, then okay, at least I have a reserve tank that I can fall back on, right? And then Nullifier is going to be there so that you don't get hit with the nullification procs. And then momentum, it depends on your group. I like to stress that Trinity is not a shooter. I like to stress that. You can, sure. It's totally up to you. But what I'm saying is she is not the shooter. That's what Volt, Oberon, Chroma, Rhino, that's their job. If someone who is shooting is expecting a Trinity to shoot, I'm just gonna cut it as straight as I can. They're probably a really fucking shitty shooter. Really bad. And they probably have a very bad team comp if they're expecting you to shoot. I'm just saying. But this is why I have momentum on there, is just to kind of deter that conversation, right? So if somebody asks me for my Trinity build, I'll send them this, they'll see momentum, they'll be like, okay, he's helping out or something, because we can't one-shot Eidolons or whatever the case is. So this is the build that I do recommend. If you happen to have Prime Sure-Footed, you probably already know what's going on so I don't have to say anything. But if you don't, and you do have Prime Sure-Footed, I do recommend putting Prime Sure-Footed on there. This also is going to help against that little weird melee glitch that you might run into. So that's pretty much Trinity in a nutshell. As I said, I don't really run the EV Trinity build, but if you are going to run that, you simply replace, let me see. You're basically going to do a range build, which I don't have. I don't have a range build, but let's go ahead and build an EV Trinity, just so I can kind of give you an idea. Because EV Trinity you used to use in Law of Retribution. And if I can remember what it was. Does she have an aura formula? No? Okay. I'm just going to put this on there just for now. That's just to have it there. But you're definitely going to want power strength. You don't necessarily need efficiency on EV Trinity because you're going to be using your second ability pretty much exclusively, right? I'm just putting my survivability on. You don't necessarily need it, but it's whatever. And then you're going to have a absolute crap ton of range. And when I say a crap ton, I mean a crap ton. And it's funny because you don't actually need a lot of duration. And what's odd is actually the less duration you have, the better. So in this case, we're going to run Transient Fortitude, and I'll show you why in a second. So negative duration. You actually works in Eidolon hunts. All right. Every time I use that, I'll check it out in a second. But yeah, actually, the less duration you have, the better. And that's because, and I'll show you guys in a minute. But it's because the way that it ticks off, right? Because it's four ticks per cast, and you want those 4 ticks to go as absolutely fast as possible, right? So what else is, and I can't remember what else negative duration is. God, I'm drawing a blank. I'll just do this. It's not never-minded, constitution, fleeting expertise. That's what it was. Boom, right? So what's gonna happen is you're gonna have a buttload of range, right? Just a buttload of range, right? And then you're gonna have negative duration. Now, what this is gonna look like, right? Let me put that augment on real quick. What it's gonna look like is the augment on? Yeah, it's on. Okay, cool. What it's gonna look like, it's gonna go do 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 do, right? And that's the cast. And you do it again, do 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 do, right? So let me show you guys. Let me just pull out some bomb bars. I'm gonna pause the AI, simulate. Boom. And we're gonna come out here and we're gonna go. That seems a lot slower than it used to be. It used to go do 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 do, but I guess it's whatever. But anyway, you do that, and then as you can see, any excess energy is going towards overshields, right? So you do this enough, and now you have basically a ton of overshields. I don't know if it needs natural talent or something. I feel like it's slow. Am I missing something? Yeah, EV. That's basically EV Trinity. I don't use I personally don't use EV Trinity, but it's, you know, you used to like really need it for Law of Retribution. But you would have to have like more than 190 range in a lot of cases. Like you needed more than 190 range. I feel like I'm missing something. What was it? What was I thinking of? Natural talent. I'm gonna try that. That cast, something about that cast. I feel, did they slow it down, Demon Gozer? Because I haven't ran EV Trinity. I have not ran EV Trinities. Like, I haven't even seen that build since Law of Retribution, bro. I know people still use it, but nope. I think they slowed it down. But yeah, that's basically EV Trinity. So, and what it's doing, if you guys are, I mean, I'm sure you guys already know. Plus, you'll be able to heal yourself, so you can't. It kind of does double as a blessing Trinity, but you don't have duration, right? So it's not really like a blessing Trinity, right? You can still heal, right? You can still link, but they only last for like 1 second, 2 seconds, right? So that's, you know, that's basically the main difference between the two. You know what I mean? So that's Trinity in a nutshell, though. If there's any questions, don't forget to leave them in the comments. I hope I was able to kind of explain Trinity in a nutshell. I see we got a 4th person showed up. By the way, 4th person who just showed up, if you have any questions about Trinity, I'm more than happy to answer any questions you might have about Trinity. I just got done showing off what an EV Trinity looks like, what a blessing Trinity looks like, what an Eidolon Trinity looks like. Most people I anticipate are going to be getting Trinity for Eidolons. I don't think anybody's going to be getting her because she's Trinity. I think people are going to be getting her because of Eidolons, right? They're going to get the Prime Pack, and they're going to get Nova, but they're getting Trinity for Eidolons. I could be wrong though. So, question that's new. A question that's new. I don't know. It feels like it's slower. I could be wrong, but I just remember. I could. It's like I said. It's been forever since I did it, but I could have swore it went do 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 like just faster. Like that do 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 do. I just feel like it went faster than that. Unless I'm tripping. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm just tripping. I just remember. It feels like it went faster back in the day. Like do 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 do. It just felt like it went quicker. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. But that's why you put negative duration on the EV Trinity, right? Because you want the pulses to go out as fast as possible. All right. So there is our school of Trinity for the most part. What we have is this is all just the way that I play. Okay. Prime sure-footed, physique, Hunter's adrenaline and rage, definitely. Vitality, I recommend it. but more importantly, duration is the key thing here. Duration and being able to get your energy back is really kind of the thing for a Tridolon, because you're only there to pop blessing. It's the only reason you're there. This is just what I use in ESO. Really, ESO and arbitrations are the exact same thing. They literally only have a different level of fleeting expertise. That is literally it. In ESO, I need more efficiency because you start with less power. In arbitrations, not so much. I'd rather have the longer duration, which is why fleeting expertise is taken down to give me just a little bit more duration at the cost of power strain. And then, of course, we have our EV Trinity, which is this one. Why it has energized? Don't ask questions, just nod and say yes. So obviously you don't need energized there. I don't know why that's there. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, so you know, but just set it up as you wish. Just remember Vampire Leech, usually at least 150 power strength, but the more power strength the better. This is because you want your energy pulses to be really high. You want your damage to be really high because it's converting the damage into energy. Not so much the energy conversion for Vampire Leech, but if you're going to be throwing out power pulses, you want those to be effective. I mean, to me, it just makes sense. Maybe I'm just tripping. But the key thing is Transient Fortitude is only here for negative duration. Fleeting Expertise is only here for negative duration. Blind Rage is here just because I want it there. All right, you technically don't need that, but I want it there because if I'm going to be popping energy pulses and there's some Saren out there with whatever amount of energy, 800 energy or a volt or whatever, when I pop that thing, I want them to be getting that energy back as much as possible. So that's basically how it goes. Yeah, it is nerf. See, I thought it was, man. Because you used to be able to pop that ability like do. I just remember it going so much faster. Do. It just felt so much quicker. Yeah, so that's Trinity. Let's do a quick little recap. I'm just going to do a quick little recap of Trinity. Why would you use her? You're going to be using her for Tridolons to take care of lures and heal lures. You can also use it to heal your team or provide energy to your team. Usually you're going to be picking one or the other, not necessarily both. You can do both, but it's more along the lines of, are you providing energy to the team or are you giving them a damage reduction? That's the decision you really need to make when you're building your Trinity. At the end of both of them, you're going to be able to heal the team, but you know, just keep those two in mind. Are you giving them energy or are you giving them damage reduction? That's the more important part. And then she can actually avoid staggers and knockdowns if you have Link on and you're connected to an enemy. I think just by turning it on, it doesn't work. Oh, it does. Nice. Okay, well, cool. By turning the third on, you avoid staggers and knockdown. Or that might just be the other mod. Let me double check that just to make sure. Because I literally just got this mod like 3 days ago. 2-3 days ago. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to turn on Link. And we're going to shoot our feet. And we're going to see what happens. Yep, you do have to be linked. Okay, so that's what I thought. So as long as you're linked to an enemy, then you can avoid staggers and knockdowns, which is super, super good. And that's pretty much about it. The mods I do recommend, personally, I do recommend Natural Talent. Because sometimes you might just have to throw that out, and her cast time is relatively slow on some of her abilities. So I personally use it. You do not have to use it. I do run Zenuric alongside these, which comes in really handy. I run that on every single Warframe. I think I'll just pretty much end it right here. So without further ado, that's my take on Trinity, how I mod Trinity and how I use Trinity. For any questions, leave them in the comments. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And that's pretty much about the gist of it. And then I'll just turn on the stream and I guess we'll just kind of hang out until the night's over. So, all right, you guys, love you guys. You guys take it easy, and I'll see you in the next piece of content. Holla, pimps! Woo!